Welcome. Today we got a Ford Fusion EcoBoost 2.0 liter. We're about to show you how to change the high pressure fuel pump and show you the safe way to do it. This one here can actually take your head off and kill you if you don't do it correctly. So I'm going to show you all how to do it correctly, diffuse the pressure off the fuel rails and everything else. So let's get it done, and I'll show you what's happening with this one here. Tools that you're going to need: ratchet, extension, 10mm socket, 18-inch wrench, and a flathead screwdriver. That's all the tools you're going to need for this job. So we're about to get this here started, so I'm going to show you all what to do to get this job done and completed properly and in the safest way as possible. So here part of being your own boss, you can drink on the job anytime you want. That's being the own boss. You can do what you want. So let's get started with this. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna loosen up the intake holes. We're gonna take that off. Take the air box loose. Just move this out the way. Pull the cover off as well. Just move all of this out the way. Once you move the cover, you have access to your high pressure fuel pump. This is what we are going to be replacing. High pressure fuel pump. Now the first thing you want to do not ever loosen up these bolts here once this thing is just stopped running. There's so much pressure behind of this. The minute you lose these, it can pop up, hit you in the face, and kill you. There's so much pressure behind of it, and it's spring loaded. Let me show you the new one. This is the new one, high pressure fuel pump. It's spring loaded. Right now, the car just came from, I just shut the car down, so the spring has so much tension in it. If you loosen up the two bolts from the side, this can pop right up, like I said, knock you out or kill you. So I'm gonna show you the way that you defuse this in the safest way that's possible. What you wanna do, take your 18mm wrench, put it on this line, and crack it to release the fuel pressure. And there you go. Fuel pressure is being released. Once the fuel pressure, just leave it sit there for it to release the fuel pressure. Alright, so once the fuel is depressed, you continue and release piece by piece until all the pressure is released. Don't do it all at once, or you're going to have a big blow by with fuel. You don't want that all over your engine, so just do it piece by piece until the fuel pressure is released. Just completely and pull that back. Next step, 8mm socket or wrench, and you put it in between here and you loosen that bolt that holds the line right here. The bolt loosen up. This is a quick, you want to take this loose. This is a quick disconnect, so you want to, this black piece, you want to push it back and push the line in to disconnect. So push back on that black piece, you push in, and there it goes. That comes loose. Next, you disconnect the harness from back here. Next step, you want to remove this bracket here that covers up the part of the fuel pump. So we're going to take these loose. I think those are 11mm. So we're going to bust these loose. These 10mm bolts, we're going to bust those loose and take them out. That's what holds the bracket in place. So that's what we're moving with those. Now you have full access to the fuel pump with these two right here. So now we're gonna take these 8mm loose, but we're gonna break the bolts. Crack them loose. And take it. are loose, and as you see, as it came up, there was no pressure. I already relieved the pressure from the get-go. And if you didn't release the pressure and you had to take these two bolts off first, this is what would have happened. That would have been down, all the pressure would have been up, boom, straight in the face. High pressure. So as you can see, this one is defective. This is no good. That is broke. Versus this one, where it's still intact. See the difference? So there you go. So the pump is off. So this is what I want y'all to see. The pump is out. This is where it goes. Before you put the new pump on, people, please clean it. Clean the area up well. Okay? Make no sense to sit there and put something brand new around a whole bunch of dirt and it don't sit well. You don't have a proper sealant. Clean it up. Alright? Next thing, before installing this, there's an oil seal. Get some oil and lube it up, pre-lube it before you install it. Okay? That's the best practices you can have. You don't want to put this thing in dry and you end up breaking the seal. So lube it before you install it. Easy way, set it in. Make sure the lines are out the way. Don't forget it's spring loaded, so it's not just gonna sit on its own until it starts tightening up. Take your 8mm and your hand thread them in first. Don't just drop the bolts in there and start tightening, because you don't want to be stripping the holes out. Once that's set, you can take your ratchet or your air ratchet and tighten them down evenly. Just do it evenly until it sets and settles. This by hand and it's in. Next step, get your line lined up and screw this on. There it goes. Loosening up that bolt makes it much easier to get this here back on. So that's what you want to do. Once you get it on, finish with the wrench, tighten it up. Make sure it's nice and snug. Once you get this nice, tight and snug, just leave that and you get your bracket. The bracket only goes on one way. This goes over the electrical part. And just set that back in there and you get your 10mm nuts, bolts, and hand tighten them back in there. Once you get them hand tightened, all that's left to do is tighten up that bracket. Always give it an extra check by hand, make sure it's tight. Don't forget to connect your connector back. Once your connector is back, then before you connect this hose, take your bolt from this line and put it back in. Once you get that back in, just tighten it up with your ratchet or your wrench. Just tighten that back up and you should be good to go. Pull that piece off, the rubber cap. It's a quick connect, so all you have to do is push it on and make sure it snaps. To check it, just pull on it. Make sure it don't go nowhere. If it comes out, that means it's not connected. So this means it's connected. So that's it for the high pressure fuel pump. That's how you replace it safely without killing yourself. Releasing the pressure, then disconnecting it. Now, I'm gonna give you the catch of the day. To make a customer happy, which is this is a customer call, clean the area up. This thing was covered with oil because the other pump was broken internally. So I'm gonna show y'all what I mean by cleaning it. Get you some brake cleaner or anything, parts clean, anything that's gonna do it. Water hose, whichever you choose, pressure wash. Clean the area up, get all the oil off. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. I cleaned the whole area. You see how much better it is? All the oil is gone. So this here is 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. They come under the hood, they pump the hood, boom. New pump, the whole area is clean, no more oil, no nothing. They're happy. They will always come back to you because you did stuff like this. Take that in consideration, especially for the ones in the shop or have your own side hustles or whatever you're doing. Clean the area up. So this will guarantee they will come back to you on everything else. Clean work is dream work. So let's put the air intake back on, then we can get it ready for crank up and see how it goes. So how you do? In reverse process, you take the intake and put it right back on. You just put that back on, snap that back in there. Put the air filter box back in, and snap and line that thing back up. Just tighten the hose clamp. It should be done. So once that's back on, you're gonna crank the car up and we're gonna check to see if there's any leaks. And there you go. That's priming the high pressure fuel pump. There's no leaks. As you can see, it's running. No fuel leaks, no oil leaks. Here, take the engine cover and put it back on. And that's it. Done.